There's one thing you could do that could sharpen your mind, support your hormones, and help you build and maintain muscle mass, protect your heart, and steady your metabolism, and it was completely free. You'd probably want to know what it was, right? Yeah, me too. Guess what? It's sleep. Hi, I'm Dr. Meghan Tierney. I am board certified in family and obesity medicine and a Menopause Society certified practitioner. I'm also the founder of Sora Health and Wellness here in Seattle, Washington, where I help women in midlife navigate menopause, perimenopause, metabolic health challenges so they can feel amazing in midlife. All right, so you're feeling like sleep is really hard now that you're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. Well, there's a reason for that. Actually, several reasons. Midlife is a time when sleep physiology is changing. Your hormones shift, your sleep cycles get lighter, it's easier to wake up and harder to fall back asleep. On top of that, many women are carrying a heavy mental load, raising kids, maybe caring for aging parents, juggling work stress, and waking up at 3 a.m. with a brain that just won't turn off. Your sleep hasn't gotten worse because you're doing anything necessarily wrong. You're struggling because the conditions supporting your sleep are changing. Today, we're breaking down why sleep is so important for cognitive health, for your muscles, your cardiovascular health, and metabolism, and what actually helps women sleep better in midlife. Sleep disruption is extremely common during perimenopause and menopause. Research shows that there is rising insomnia, more nighttime awakenings, and shorter sleep overall. Why is this? It's because multiple systems start shifting at once. Hormones like estradiol drop, which destabilizes the sleep wake cycle. Vasomotor symptoms from that low estrogen, hot flashes and night sweats wake you up over and over and over. Stress and mood changes that are associated with those hormonal shifts or more life stress increase the risk of insomnia. And underlying sleep disorders like obstructive sleep apnea and restless leg syndrome get more common as we get older, but are often undiagnosed. And when your sleep cycles are disrupted, everything downstream from cognition to metabolic health gets disrupted too. So let's look at what that means for your brain first. Sleep is one of the most powerful tools we have for protecting brain health. During sleep, especially deep and REM sleep, your brain consolidates memories, clears metabolic waste, and restores the circuits to help you focus and think clearly. In midlife, sleep disturbances are linked with memory difficulties, problems with attention, and an increased risk of cognitive decline later in life. So now you've noticed maybe you have more brain fog or forgetfulness. One thing to consider is whether or not you're getting good enough quality sleep. Most of us are not. Sleep also supports muscle building and maintenance of muscle mass. Women in midlife are being bombarded with orders to eat more protein, lift heavier weights, and build muscles for their future health. But if you're not getting enough sleep, you are sabotaging the work you're doing in the gym. Your muscles don't grow during your workout, they grow during recovery. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, which repairs muscle fibers and restores neuromuscular coordination. When sleep is short or fragmented, muscle repair slows, muscle breakdown increases, strength gains plateau. Research in midlife women shows poor sleep quality is linked to faster muscle loss, lower strength, and worse physical function as we age. Muscle loss is important on its own, but the argument for better sleep for women gets hard to ignore when you look at what good sleep means for your heart health. Heart disease is the number one cause of death for women, and sleep plays a critical role in that risk. Short sleep, fragmented sleep, and poor quality sleep are associated with higher rates of high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high cholesterol, and elevated cardiovascular risk in midlife women. The relationship is so strong that improving sleep over time can lower cardiovascular risk by 25 to 30%. That means sleep just isn't about feeling better or feeling rested, it's long term heart protection. And of course, heart health and metabolic health go together. So let's talk about what sleep means for your metabolism. Poor sleep disrupts the hormones that regulate hunger, fullness, blood sugar, and energy use. And here's what the research shows. So, ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, increases, so you are hungrier. Leptin, which is the fullness hormone, decreases, so you are hungrier. You have increased cravings for carbohydrates, insulin resistance increases, cortisol rises, especially with repeated nighttime awakenings. One of the most compelling studies found that extending sleep in short sleepers, so people are not sleeping enough, reduced daily calorie intake by about 270 calories, which is crazy because they didn't even ask the participants to change their diet. Sleep truly is metabolic medicine. So, with all these systems being affected, brain, muscle, heart, metabolism, what can you actually do to improve your sleep in midlife? Here's what the evidence supports and what I see work most in practice. Number one is consistent sleep schedule. Your midlife circadian rhythm responds beautifully to consistency. So that's the same bedtime and the same wake time, whether or not you're on vacation or it's the weekend, which kind of sucks, but it really helps. Number two is having a cool, dark room. Temperature regulation becomes harder because of that decreasing estrogen. So, a cooler room around 65 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit supports deeper sleep. Number three is morning light and evening dimming. Morning sunlight anchors your internal clock, and in the evening, dimming lights and reducing screens help your body shift into melatonin production. If you're someone who struggles with putting your phone down when it's time to go to bed, sometimes the best thing is to remove the temptation, which is have it go and charge in another room. You can use an old school analog alarm clock to wake up, and it'll probably help you with your sleep quite a bit. Number four, exercise. So, exercise improves sleep quality by increasing slow wave sleep. For the best results, do moderate activity earlier in the day. Try to strength train earlier in the day as well. Use stretching and gentle yoga in the evening to wind down. Number five is mindfulness and relaxation, which can feel a bit woo, but they actually do change sleep outcomes. Options that work, I really like 4-7-8 breathing. So that's breathing in for 4, holding for 7, exhaling for 8. You can do guided body scans of meditation before bed, progressive muscle relaxation. There are tons of free options on YouTube and in apps. Personally, and this is not free and nor is it sponsored, but I really like Headspace because they have these things called sleep casts where they have someone with a very soothing voice do a wind down, which is like about a 5 to 10 minute guided relaxation or breathing, and then they have them tell a story. Anyway, it always makes me fall asleep. So all of these, they calm your nervous system and help you fall asleep faster and better. And then if you're having trouble sleeping, if you're really having trouble falling asleep, it's been several months and you're not able to fall asleep on time, then I would really recommend looking into something called CBTI or cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. There are plenty of apps that help you go through the therapy, and evidence shows that this is actually more effective and longer lasting than medications for sleep. So, a really good option to use. And finally, is medication for your vasomotor symptoms or hot flashes. So, if you're having hot flashes and night sweats that are waking you up at night, there are so many options for you that are either hormonal or non hormonal that can significantly improve your sleep. Okay, so there's one other piece we should talk about that can affect your sleep, and it's very common and it's often missed in women. And that's sleep apnea or obstructive sleep apnea. It is severely underdiagnosed in women. Up to 80% of cases are missed. And the reason is that women look different than men when it comes to sleep apnea. Men often present with the loud snoring and someone witnessing them not breathing. Women often show up with fatigue. They show up with insomnia, morning headaches, mood changes, forgetfulness, waking up multiple times to pee in the night, or just feeling really wiped out during the day. And because these symptoms don't match the classic male picture, women get missed by both themselves and their doctors. Sleep apnea also becomes much more common after menopause. Women are 2.5 to 3.5 times more likely to have it once estrogen and progesterone start to decline. And if you have high blood pressure, diabetes, thyroid disease, asthma, or cardiovascular disease, and you also have poor sleep, and maybe you're in a larger body, you should be screened if you haven't already, even if you don't snore. A sleep study and treating sleep apnea can be life altering. So, what's the bottom line here? Sleep is not optional. It's the foundation for your health. And the good news is that improving your sleep doesn't require perfection, just a little bit better support. Even small changes like adding 10 or 20 minutes of sleep, a calmer evening routine, better temperature control can meaningfully improve your sleep. And therefore, it can improve your mood, strength, metabolism, and long term health. This is about taking care of the woman who is taking care of everyone else. You deserve sleep. You deserve rest. You deserve good health. You deserve to feel good in your body. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. I hope that this will encourage you to get a little bit more sleep. Like I said, even 10 or 20 more minutes. And also know that it can be really hard to do that when you have little kids or people who are depending on you. And sometimes it requires talking to the people around you to help you get the support you need in order to improve your sleep. So if this was helpful, please like and share. And if you are in Washington State and you are ready to get support for your metabolic health, your sleep, or your menopausal symptoms, I would love to help. At Sorrel Health and Wellness, we take a holistic approach. So, sleep, hormones, metabolism, and lifestyle, because it is all connected. Visit the link below and book a discovery call. You do not have to navigate this craziness alone.